Hey, welcome to the Hypothesis Podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Martinez. Today we have special returning guests, Alex, Angel, and Virgin. If you haven't heard the episode, please go check it out. We covered sub-T wraps, foreclosures, a little bit of everything, what they're looking for, how to wrap a deal, wrap a note, all that stuff. Let me find the button to open this up. Everybody here. Today we cover cool, interesting stories. So we're gonna, since there's 4 people here, they all have a cool, interesting story they're gonna share with us today. So, Angel, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go for it. One of the most interesting deals I've done was the one we went to go take a look at this past week, 8221 Listing Rush. And that particular deal, I had initially called them back in June when it had only been 18 days on the market, but the seller was in pre-foreclosure. And at the time, they're only like 12K in arrears. But they didn't accept financing at the very beginning, so I had to follow up for an additional almost 4 months. So I called the agent like once a week, every single week, just to see where the seller was at. And then the seller finally made up their mind. But by the time they accepted the offer, they were like 42K in arrears. So that was a huge jump.
Time's of the essence for those, man. And if they wait too long, it makes it harder for them to help them. I think I always hate when that happens because, like, you can always help them. The earlier you attach yourself to a deal like that, the more you can save it, and it's easier to save. But when they let time pass, it gets harder and harder. So that's crazy. Alex, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll talk about how I actually got into real estate. It's a pretty interesting story. So it was last year, January 18th, is when I got laid off my W-2 job. I was working in tech sales. And it was actually the same day I was flying to my first speaking event. So Grant Cardone was there, Pace Morby, Ed Milet, Rob Deerdeck. So the same day as my flight, I get laid off. I was really shocked. I wasn't really sure what to do. But then I knew that was a sign for me to just go all in on a real estate. And that's when I got introduced to creative finance and just started diving deep into it, learning, and didn't get my first deal for 4 to 5 months. But now things have changed definitely, and we found the right team to work with.
That's amazing, man. And you just hit a year. You're hitting a year like in a week or so, right? For being an entrepreneur, which is amazing. Congratulations, Alex. Virg, you want to go next?
Yeah, the big story that pops out in my head is on how I sold my business. So when I was working for like a prop tech company, we got acquired by an even bigger prop tech company. So I said, screw the man. I started my own business, started my own HOA management company, and then discovered creative financing. And I've been doing property management for a while now. I was kind of getting sick of it and wanted to build something new. So I ended up discovering creative finance. I was like, hey, maybe I should seller finance my business. So that took about like 6 months to do, but was able to, sell my business creatively. And I thought that was pretty cool. And it's helped me with what we're doing now.
I think that is amazing. So I really want to hit on Verge here for a second. So you learned about creative finance and you sold your business seller finance. I think one of the things, the really cool things is when you know seller finance, you can leverage seller finance to your benefit, not necessarily because when you're coming in as a buyer, it's a different type of seller finance. When you're leveraging it as a seller, it's a different type of seller finance. But you know both sides because you know what good terms look like. Mm-hmm. So I want to mention this too because I've only done one house deal, and it was the house deal I bought personally, and then I sold and seller financed it to somebody else. I essentially wrapped it what you guys do, and that's the only house deal I've ever done to date. Everything else has been land. But me knowing seller finance, I knew a little bit. I know a lot more now, but just knowing the basic stuff of seller financing, I was able to leverage that. But I think it's really cool that you sold your business seller finance as well with the strategies, because you get the best of both worlds at this point, because now you can sell and buy via seller financing, which is the whole wrap strategy essentially as well too. That's cool, man. All right, Mitch, you ready?
I am. So I'm going to tell you my story real quick with these gentlemen here. We actually all met on a Zoom. We were on a sub-2 Zoom, and I was, speaking on, giving away free leads and that kind of stuff. And they happened to jump in. And I think we were on that Zoom for probably like 3 hours. And after that, we just had like a connection. And so after that, we started doing deals together. We actually all decided to go out to Colorado. We didn't have any planned meetups or anything like that. We stayed in an Airbnb for 9 days together. We went around, we toured, we started educating agents and loan officers. They actually set up all these various meetings with people. None of us knew any of these people. It was just, cold calling, building relationships, talking about deals for 9 days. And then from there, there was just a great synergy. And we ended up, they were going out to do a meeting, and I think it was Creative Con in Phoenix. And so they said, hey, you want to come out there with us? And I said, yeah. So we went ahead and called my wife, and I said, hey, I'm not going to make it home. I'm going to be gone for another week. She's like, all right. So we actually went out to Phoenix. We ended up talking with Pace and Abraham, and, went to Creative Con and met a lot of great people there. And so that's actually, where we ended up doing Pace's podcast. Pace asked, hey, he asked me actually, do you want to do a podcast? I said, yeah. I said, but you got to bring the team in, So that's actually kind of like, a little bit of our story of how we all kind of met. We started collaborating and doing deals together. And, what I would say is like, if, just get out in the communities that you're in, no matter what it is, and start collaborating and doing deals with people. You never know where you're going to meet your business partners at.
Yeah, I really want to hit on too is that you guys are all separate in separate markets. You guys don't live near each other at all, and you guys met on a Zoom, so that's amazing. So it's definitely underrated. I think where we're heading in business is this type of model where you don't just have to go to the office and there's no centralized office everybody works out of. I think it's really powerful when you can get all your systems and people aligned to create really good opportunities. Just aligning yourself with other people.
Try to find people who are different than you too, is what I would say, because like everybody brings a different skill set. Like Verge has, skill sets I don't have. Angel has skill sets, that I don't have. Alex is really good, at certain things, and he brings skill sets that, that each of us don't have. We can all network, right? We all love to talk. We all have a different style, and we all bring a different group too, right? So when I go out and talk, certain people will gravitate towards me. Other people will gravitate towards Angel or Verge or Alex. So it's like, and everybody brings different skills. Mine is definitely not social media, So Verge is good at that. And, so yeah, go out and collaborate and find people that have other skills, besides you, and see how you can complement each other.
So yeah, I'll 100% back that up too. It's my partner completely opposite, and I think that's what makes really good partnerships for everybody here that's looking for somebody maybe to partner with in the future. Opposites attract. So if they're like you and do stuff the same as you, maybe not the best partner. So you always want to find somebody that's going to fill the gaps in your business, not necessarily fight over the same control parts.
Exactly.
It's important. Anyone want to cover what Homester is and where they can find it real quick? Please go check the other episode, by the way, too. We cover a lot of more stuff in detail. But anyone want to cover Homester?
Yeah, so Homester, you can actually, we're still kind of putting some of it together, but you can find Homester on Facebook. You can find it on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on Twitter. We're on Pinterest and YouTube. And so some of them may or may not have a lot of content right now, but we'll be expanding and adding content on there. And we'll also probably we're going to start doing a lot of live events. So we'll be talking about properties. We'll be talking about deals, and, we'll be able to invite people on to kind of correspond, ask questions, and we can kind of walk through what we're doing and how we're doing it.
And that, for instance, that program is to connect with buyers that are looking for their non-qualified mortgage borrowers to buy property, right?
Buyers, sellers, agents, loan officers.
You name it.
Bring the whole family.
Yeah, jump in. Let's go. Let's talk about real estate. Let's see what we can learn from each other.
There you go. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on. Thanks for coming on again. I think everybody, we provide a lot of value and a lot of interesting stuff. I think you guys are very unique. Like I said, this is the most people I've ever run on a podcast, and I think we did all right. Trying to mix up the flow a little bit. But I appreciate you all coming in and sharing knowledge and just being a beacon of information in the community. So I think that's something to be pointed out by me, at least, if nobody else does. So I appreciate you guys. If you guys have any questions, go check them out. We'll see you all in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a great day.